Welcome to Powerhouse with Coach Maker, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.
Hello dear viewer of SSBC, welcome to SSBC Powerhouse with Coach Maker. Today we have another edition of Powerhouse. As we all know that South Sudan is gearing up for its post-independent general elections. Political parties are actively formulating strategies to solidify their presence on the political landscape. So today we have the honor to host Honorable ONYOTI ADIGO NYIKWEC, the chairperson of Democratic Change Party, who is also the National Minister of Livestock and Fisheries. So today we will discuss a little bit about his party. He will shed lights on his party's plans and preparation for the upcoming general elections. So Honorable, welcome to SSBC Powerhouse.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the listeners.
Just to begin with, can you tell us your professional background and political background prior to your involvement in the Democratic Change Party?
My background, I'm a school teacher, but also was very actively involved in trade unions. And some time back I was the leader of Upper Nile Trade Union of Teachers, where we got involved in the affairs of the teachers and the relationship between the teachers and the government itself. So step by step we moved forward into politics. Then we started politicking slowly by supporting some of our politicians, where we were working for them during election time. And there was a time when I was a chief agent of one of my politicians, and thank God he passed the election.
That was in Sudan?
That was when we were in Sudan as one country. But here there are two elections, the regional government election, that is the government of Belalir and Yusuf Lago, where there were some election 78 and 80 and something of that kind. So I found out that politics is a good, nice game to play. So here we started as SPLM members, and even when we were in Khartoum 2005 to 2009, we were SPLM members in Parliament, National Parliament in Khartoum. Okay, where I was the spokesperson of the caucus of the SPLM caucus in Parliament in Khartoum. But the play in SPLM in Khartoum, and even generally, SPLM, we broke away from it and formed SPLM Democratic Change Party.
That was in which year?
That is 2009. That is on the 6th of June, we established that party under the leadership of Dr. Lam Akol. But we were seriously involved.
So before you proceed, Honorable, what triggered you people to form that political party?
Really, that is a very nice question. But I used to say that during that time, there were some members within the SPLM, they think they are more SPLM than others. But tentatively, we used to say that when we become to have one party, the important thing is the principles of the party which needs to guide all of us, which bring us together. But unfortunately, it is not that with some certain people. So because of that, that made us establish a different independent political party called SPLM-DC. Had we not done it, I would not be here now as a minister, for example. Or I would not even go for election.
Why you did not see your future with the SPLM, that you can come as a minister when you are with SPLM?
Some people were pushing people out from SPLM. And if it had I to continue SPLM, I would not have contested election of 2010, you know. So because of being independent, liberated myself from the people who think that there are more SPLM, so now I become independent, I contest election in my country, and then I pass, beating the people of SPLM.
Apart from the position, because based on what you've said, you would have not made it to be a national minister had you not defected from SPLM, from another political party. So apart from the position thing, what was the mission or the vision of that Democratic Change Party?
You know, the vision of Democratic Change Party is actually we want to see that South Sudanese, they live in harmony and peaceful coexistence among South Sudanese as people of the Republic of South Sudan.
So how
And then here, by changing their mindset democratically, you know, you need to, when you have something, you need to change the mindset of people by either changing themselves, their mindset politically, economically, or socially. Politically, they have to accept the reality that there are always competition within political parties for the welfare of the people. And the choice is left all the time to the people to choose their leaders. The second, economically, we believe that if we embark on business of what we do, like agriculture sector as a whole, I think this will raise us up. But unfortunately, with some policies that people concentrate on oil, because oil, they think it is a ready-made thing. It is a ready-made thing where people can just get money. But some people didn't have hardship, because in agriculture can, even if you take agriculture sector, crop section, for example, it can take you from down to up immediately, but also can bring you from up to bottom immediately also, the vice versa. So if you talk of agriculture, like now we have a lot of cows in South Sudan, and most of these cows we are using is of no use. I used to term them of no use economically, because they are used for marrying beautiful girls. In some areas, they say 100 cows, 200 cows, 300 cows. Then again, when I have 200 to 3 or 1,000 cows, I'm very proud. But all of them are of no use. So we want to change this scenario to make, for example, livestock more economical than the present moment, where we are using them to be for marriages and prestige from different people. I have a lot of cows and so forth. So these things need a change of mindset of people, okay? As I told you now, change your mindset economically. You should create awareness to people so that they know what is the importance of doing something for economic value.
Your vision was to change the mindset of the citizen economically, according to you.
Economically, politically, socially, that they live like brothers.
All right. So 15 years later, if I'm not wrong, you had just commemorated your 15th anniversary a few days ago. So were you able to achieve the vision that you are talking about? Did you change the mindset of the citizen since you've been in that position for 15 years?
You know, politics, changes come gradually. But you can do more if you are the one in power, okay? You have the exercise the SPLM is doing now because they are in power, they have been in power. And this should have been their work. I used to discuss, you know, from 2010 to 2011, I was the leader of opposition in parliament. Then again from 2011 to 2017, I was the minority leader in parliament. Okay? Where you know the way of doing things from SPLA by the DC party differs actually. So had we to be in power, I would have said we would have done a lot.
Talking of powers, you are the current sitting Minister of Livestock and Fisheries. And you are saying you want to use these animals for the economic progress of the country. You have that power. What are you doing?
In my ministry, I'm trying to change. That's why we say we talk about transformation of livestock and fisheries in the Republic of South Sudan.
So how far?
For economic value. Now we have developed policies. Policies based on this, what I'm telling you now. And these policies is already finished but not yet presented, because I said policies should be guided by a strategic plan. How do we implement these policies, you know, because they should go end in end. So we are now working on a strategic plan for both livestock and fisheries. So from there they will be presented to the Council of Ministers and then to Parliament for approval. The challenges we have actually, you might have ideas and you need to change, but when you come to funding of these things you need, then you have the hardship, because nothing can be achieved without funds, you know. So this is the biggest challenges. Yeah. Now if you go to the ministry now, my ministry, you'll find that it's not a place where people can stay in, because it is fabricated, which has been made 2008, but now it is worn out. So we have a plan of building a very modern building which can accommodate people. Now we are trying our levels as if we can get the Good Samaritan to build this building, so that when you have the environment like this environment, you will be happy, and even you can do the business properly. Whatever you want to think of, you need for a very nice environment of work. You should have power, you should have internet, all these things, and these things need money. See?
15 years anniversary of your political party. So far, have you registered with the Political Parties Council?
I think we registered twice. When we were in Khartoum, we were registered. When we came here this year, or the year before election, we were registered. Now we are waiting for Political Party Council to decide whether we register from the beginning, or there are other ways of accommodating the parties which has been registered previously.
So during those days when you are registering, comparing to what we had recently, that you people are supposed to pay $50,000 US, how was the registration process initially?
The registration was very little amount of South Sudanese pounds, because tentatively, democratically, we need to encourage people to organize themselves as political parties. If there are many, according like what we have, for me in particular, that is competition of the people, okay? Because I'm sure most of these political parties may melt away, will melt automatically if we go for election. For example, we go for election, and I did not have only one single person who has passed. Am I a political party? I think automatically I have to change my mind, either to make a sort of merger with another political party which is nearer to me, so that next time we can, because the aim of a political party is to take over power democratically. I have more people coming from different parts of the country, coming to parliament and so forth. See, that is our motto.
Honorable, as the chairperson of this political party, is your party ready for the December general elections?
Yeah, for sure. I think I said the last time during my press conference that the Democratic Change Party is ready for any election at all. See, we are ready for any election at all which comes in the Republic of South Sudan. Because in fact we need to change the way we are now, as if we are being taken as hostage. We are being taken as hostage by the agreement we have made among ourselves, where you cannot move this way or that way. So we need to liberate ourselves to become more liberal, closer to people than the way we are now, you know. So by going for election, I think most of the things may materialize. Yeah, because it will be either one party controlling it, but it can also be a coalition party. You know South Africa now, you know the ANC, which was a majority party since election, since independent, now has lost its majority. Although they are still majority, but it has lost its command of majority. So they have to look for alliance, coalition, you know, participation of all the people within these things.
Talking of change, so are you considering running for presidential seat?
This thing will be a decision of the party later on, not now.
Okay, how is your party preparing for the upcoming general elections? What are your strategies? What are you doing ahead?
Yeah, we should see into it that all the members in the states, we have all members of the states. First of all, we need to qualify for any scenario which brings political parties up. Okay, that is very, very important. Then the next stage is how to capture the mindset of people to become to like DC party, according to our statement, whatever we tell people. See, because by doing that, you know, if you want to marry a girl, for example, as a man, before you move out from your house, you need to check yourself. How beautifully are you dressed? Because you need to be attractive to the lady or to the girls you want to marry. Okay? The same thing, if you are going for election, you need to be attractive to the people, the community, the way you behave, the way you treat them, the way you talk to them. These are ways of accepting people. Okay? But if you are very far from them, then this is the problem. That's why we used to tell our people there is a need to be closer to the people, so that the ideas of the party could be put into the minds of the people so that they will be able to be attractive to the party itself.
How might the upcoming elections affect the economic hardship of South Sudan, or how can it change the economic hardship of South Sudan?
You know, in fact, that is a very important question. At the present moment, we have economic hardships. Why is there economic hardships? Maybe because our own making. It is our own making doing that. Now, we have made ourselves, as I told you before, relying on oil and neglecting most important things which would have brought up a lot of money and which should be economically viable. And it should have been the most fastest economic building state. One is agriculture sector as a whole. Agriculture as a crop, agriculture as animals, you know. Okay? Then you have the water. Okay? Then you have the forestry we have. If you go to the forestry, we have a lot of timber. Our timber and a lot of these wood are being smuggled outside. Okay? No good control. We have our fish here. Fish can bring us hard currency a lot. As I told you, if we manage to do what, to transform it to be more commercialized. We have our cows here also. We can sell our beef to other areas where there is no beef. Okay? We can sell our fish. All these things we can do. But unfortunately, we are not concentrated on whatever we have. We have the wildlife. You know, our wildlife is, I could say, wildlife we have is more than wildlife anywhere in the world. We have wildlife in thousands or in millions if you collect all of them. We can make attractive to tourists. See, there are some countries now relying on tourism for their income, which we can do. Okay? Also, you have mines, mining. We have gold, we have uranium, we have a lot of these mining things which we should have utilized so that we build up like the central bank to buy the gold which is now being smuggled outside as a reserve which will strengthen our economy.
So what is preventing the country from doing what you are talking about now, since we have them at the end?
But you know, when we were in the village as young people long time ago, going after the goats and cows, we have the elder people. Okay? These elder people, the time when the new sorghum is ready, there is a special sorghum which we used to just row. You put it in the fire and then you start cleaning it this way. That is very sweet. So when it is brought by the big man, there are young people will come around. Then you will make it, put it in the end of the child, and it will run away that he has eaten. But the bulk of thing is eaten by what? By the elder. Now we get oil money ready. Okay? But instead of utilizing to facilitate the sectors which I am telling you now, we just take it. So that is the real problem.
Dear viewer of SSBC, we are taking our first short break. Stay with us. We have more to discuss with Honorable ONYOTI ADIGO NYIKWEC, who is here to tell us his party's preparation for the December general election. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Powerhouse with Coach Maker, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.
Hello dear viewer of SSBC, welcome back after that short break. In with me here is Honorable ONYOTI ADIGO NYIKWEC, who is the chairperson of Democratic Change Party, and is here to tell us his preparation or the party's preparation for the December general elections, as he has confirmed that the party is ready for any elections anytime from now. So Honorable, to proceed with you, recently we have seen the SPLM-IO chairperson has expressed concerns that preconditions for holding credible and free polls in December are not yet in place. As the chairperson of DCP, what is your perspective on this issue?
I think he's right. He's right. Do you know why? Because according to Political Party Act, you cannot register as a political party if you have armed wing. Okay? SPLM-IO has got armed wing, which needs to be amalgamated to the National Army. See? This will give them a chance of registering as a free political party. But at the present moment, the reins are tied together. They cannot register, and the political party council will not accept them because there are still army under him, and he is commander in chief. And what he needs is really to unify the national army, the national police, the national prison warder, the wildlife control, all these security sector needs to be united to be one. And no political party which has got an army. Okay? And it is not only IO. I think there are some also in Sawa.
And
they hate.
Supposed to do that? The unification?
The unification is the national government, all the people, all of us.
The national government, including the...
Including us. This, we had one government. So it is we to do that. Yeah, but you know, implementation of peace agreement is the one going very, very slowly. But what is good, I can say, is like a drunken man who is going to his hour that doesn't know he can reach his hour, but he's drunk. You know, a drunken man, he may go and find his out. That is good. This is how the peace agreement is moving. But also, you know, if it would have been a drunken man who fall down, and that would have not been good. But at the present moment, no violation of any of the parties fighting one another and something of that kind. That what is good. We are still maintaining that.
Do you think this election, in case it takes place in December, as per what we heard from the Election Commission, that the election will take place? Do you think it will be fair enough for all the political parties, including yours?
Fairness of election depends on the people, because it is we doing it. If all South Sudanese come in, all political parties in the South Sudan, they want election to be fair enough and democratic it can be, because they will work together for the safety and for the security of this election. Okay? But if there are certain things in the hearts of people, because people differs, people differs. Some people can plan certain things which can make that election not to be fair. Can happen. But the whole thing is how people work together, they unite their ranks, then they say that this country belongs to us and we need a free, fair election so that the international community can recognize it, like what happened during the referendum, you remember. The referendum was free and fair, very peaceful, because all South Sudanese were united. Okay? It was no one political party which was against the referendum. The same thing, if we do this together without anything, even our election can be better. Because I know South Sudanese, when they come together and they talk one language, they are very successful in whatever they do.
Your party is called Democratic Change Party. So what sets the Democratic Party apart from the political parties in the country?
Now we have our own principles, our own ideology.
Yes.
That we cannot be the same with another group of people.
Yes,
like what we are saying now, as I'm telling you, we need to change people. Not by violence, by guns, no. Democratically, by good language. Whatever we want to do, by good language. You remember Democratic Change Party, we were in problems since 2009. Okay? But still, we maintain our unity, our motto, our principle that we will not take arms against our brothers in South Sudan. And that is why myself I'm initiating that people need to go for election so that they choose their own leader. Okay? The leaders who will work for them. And it is the choice of the people now. Who are the people who can lead them? Okay? You know, we in our constitution, we are yearning not for presidential system of government, we are for this parliamentary system of government. You know why? Why? You know, parliamentary system of government unite people. Because what we'll do is to work hard that we take over parliament so that we bring our leader as the ruler of the country. Okay? Because he will be elected in parliament. then accountability is easy also. Because whatever we did and it is wrong will be accountable for in parliament. You have the vote of no confidence and then you have it. Okay? With the president system is difficult because the president is elected by all the people. Okay? So unless we open a case, go to the court and so forth, that he has done A, B and C. That is a long process. Okay? And now why I say it unite people, because you in Bor, I in Upper Nile, somebody in Yambio, somebody in wherever is in Eastern or Western Equatoria or in Bozen par example, would be working as brothers to see that we come and take over parliament. No tribalism. Okay? And when we choose the government, we choose the government within these members of parliament who are very strong. Because the time we make a mistake will be accounted for by parliament. So we should have strong people. Then also, parliamentary system is easy to make coalition. So most people will come and make coalition, and then we run the government according to our principles, our ideas, how we can save people. See? So we differ from other people. Some other people, they need presented system of government. See? So that's why we work very hard that even during the making of this constitution, permanent constitution, we'll be working hard that if there are people who are with the same idea, where that we, instead of having presidential system, we go to parliamentary system. Most of the countries are parliamentary system. Ethiopia, which is near here, is a parliamentary system. South Africa is parliamentary system. The president is a ceremonial president, but the country is run by the prime minister or by the chancellor, whatever we name, or the president himself, elected like in South Africa. The president is elected in the parliament.
I've talked so much about your vision as the Democratic Change Party. So what are some of the long-term goals apart from the upcoming elections? What are some of the long-term goals that you people have as a party?
The long-term goal for us is to take over the government. Okay? Whether in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Democratic Change Party has to rule this country. Okay? We should come up as neat and liked by the people. If the people do not like us, still they will realize in 50 years to come that this is the real party which needs to take over from this government. Yeah. So that is the system of the political party.
So in that regards, how are you convincing the public, the people outside there, since there are no campaigns you are doing, there are no rallies you are doing? What are you waiting?
You know, the problem is not campaigning or making rallies. Our people, they know political parties. Okay? Some people will say now we have got the majority. But when the reality comes, it is the choice of the people. Okay? Then this is where we will test. This is where we test our party, whether it is coming a bit closer to taking over the government later on.
But that choice of the people, the citizen, is triggered by what the political parties have done. Like what you're saying, what you're doing. That is what triggered the vote.
Exactly. Like what we are now. Now we are now, like as the Minister of Livestock, I was Minister of Agriculture. We needed changes. Like Minister, as a Minister of United, we need changes in the ministry. We need to change the mindset of our people so that they move from systematic farming to more commercialized farming, so that they become self.
Your ministry is working on a certain thing.
Yes.
To change the mindset of the citizen.
Yes.
That thing you are doing as the Ministry of Livestock is enough to change the mindset of citizens of this country?
Me as a minister. But there are also some people who are working other ways in the states. There are people in the states. Yeah. Which are following the system which we are now talking of. You remember some time back, I opened an office in Yambio. You remember it? Yeah. Then what I say there will be known by people. I opened an office also in Wow.
How are those offices?
What do you mean by saying how are they? But they are there.
Are they operating?
How can I go to open an office which is not operating?
All right, Honorable.
Yeah.
So what could be your message for the South Sudanese, especially those who, you know, at the moment South Sudanese are really fighting with the economic situation of South Sudan? Some are even saying we need election as soon as tomorrow so that the economic situation change. What can you tell them?
You know, I'm very happy with those South Sudanese people because they are people who are humble, very patient, okay? Very patient, and they know the difficulties the government is facing, okay? But still, my message to them is we need to go out to work ourselves, go for farming. Go for farming. If you are a farmer with crops, please do that so that you have something self-sufficient and you have enough to sell out. No subsistence. You just eat it and finish. When you make something, there should be a surplus which can give you some money. Okay? Either in crop farming, as I said, or in animal farming. Okay? We need to change the cattle which are having no milk, which are having no good meat. Okay? So we are planning now that if God's willing, we need to create in every state zero grazing zone. Because the movement of the cows coming from board down here, they become exhausted. They will not have good meat. They will not have milk. So if you keep them one day and feed them there, they may change and then make crossbreeding to them. Even the stealing of these cows, because our cows, they need to be stolen by themselves. They are looking for being stolen because they can run with the person stealing them more than 24 hours. But if we improve their quality, then they become bulky in body, then they cannot be stolen because they will not run. They will not be able to run. See? Because we are feeding them for beef, they become bulky. You need a heavy bull so that it gives you a lot of money. Or you feed them for what? For milk. Then you bring cows which can bring more milk. You know a cow can bring 40 liters per day. And happy the work being done by Her Excellency Nyandeng. She's doing this now, feeding some people with milk. Okay? The same thing somebody called Jamal Wane is having a farming. I went and saw it. So these are the people we need to encourage. See? We need to develop the thinking of transforming the livestock into commercial livestock, not subsistence livestock, where you don't have milk, you don't have these quality people running after that, and most of them will die. And I'm appealing to all South Sudanese, especially the Dinka and the Nuer, and even Morley and some Toposa people, that they need to change the quality of their cows. And we are ready to help them. Any community who think we need to change, we are ready to help them. By crossbreeding, you can bring the semen of certain cows, feed them into our cows, and then when they give birth, this is a different cow altogether. It will not be the same like this one, because either it will have milk. If the cow used to bring two or half a liter, this cow now will have 4 or 5 liters. So you are changing it slowly, you know. So you need to change these things slowly. And then giving them to change more is to create zero grazing zone, not to let them move from all the time from very far areas where you have some problem with the farmers. You know, there are the farmers a problem with the cattle raiders, you know, or the cattle raiders has got problem of their own where they come and do what, they steal the cows and they run away with these cows. So we want to start all these things. And we want to introduce also in our plan we want to introduce traceability and identification mark, that the cows of every state or every person should have identification and traceability marks. And we were thinking if we get money, we can start in Jungule and Pibor, where there are problems, or in Baragazal and Unity states. Because we will keep every cow, if we identify that cow, we keep a cow a card, identification card. And then if you want to sell out that cow in the market here, you have to introduce your card. If that cow has no card, then this is a stolen cow. If we want to marry a girl also, the man who is bringing cows to the parents of the married girl should bring identification, transfer them to this person, and then you have your cows. But without marks, then these are stolen cows, should be rejected immediately.
Dear viewer of SSBC, that was an advice from the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, where he's talking about how you, citizen of South Sudan, can economize the livestock, the backbone of economic hardship in South Sudan. Yes, we were talking about his political parties, that is the Democratic Change Party, how they are preparing for the December general elections. And from what we have heard from him, the party is ready for the elections. And one of the vision or the long-term agenda or goals for the party is to one day rule the country. That's all we have for you this afternoon or this evening. On behalf of the team, we thank you for joining us and for staying us with Powerhouse with NYIKWEC. Until next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Powerhouse with NYIKWEC, your weekly engagement into the heart of the nation's political and economic pulsation. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on SSBC television. This is Powerhouse, where realization meets empowerment, just on SSBC television.